Gate 14 podcast. The vibes are low. The vibes are low, but like I've said on multiple shows, multiple podcasts, do not let the Toronto Blue Jays affect your mood. So we're not going to let it affect the mood of the podcast. I personally had a great weekend. JR is back in Canada, if you can see behind him. Avery was coaching, just mentoring the youth. JR, what's up, brother? What's it like? The time change fucking you up here a little bit or what?
A little bit. I kind of just slept a lot today. Um, but yeah, no, time change just fucked me up a little bit. But overall, it's all good. But I mean, it's good to have the games on Sportsnet. I'll tell you that being back. Um, but yeah, no, it's been. I mean, this has got to be one of the lowest points of the year.
Oh, this is the basement. I mean, the Jays are 44-28 if they don't face the Red Sox and Orioles. They're 44-28 against all other teams. Avery, what about you, buddy? Be honest here. You got a little bit of massive FOMO with this weekend.
No,
Did you do anything?
Well, I went to Jared's house last night, so we drank a little bit. It was nice to see some of the fellas, but I had a shit weekend. The Jays suck. The whole Twitter thing is really fucking making me frustrated.
This new rule, I
It's
actually
pissing me off.
It's got to fuck you up, Johnny. Like it's got
to. Johnny went rate limit exceeded on 2 accounts yesterday.
I'm like trying.
No,
to get
what do you mean? No, I didn't.
Oh, the Gate 14 account was limited when I went on it.
No, the Gate 14 one is still not even limited on ours right now.
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Do you have to be like pretty aggressive to hit that limit?
I don't know.
No.
No?
600's nothing realistically. Like that's like what 5 or no, it might be under exaggerating. That's like what 10 refreshes maybe.
I will say Elon Musk helped the drivers of Canada because I did not scroll while I was driving on the 401 today.
But I don't understand, and I guess we can get into it because that's what I had written down here.
I got one more thing for my weekend.
Okay. Yep.
OBJ, good weekend for us. 3-1, first winning weekend in a while. We split every fucking day, and I'll just come back. My dad's like, "How'd you do?" We split every time, but we won a weekend. And shout out to the Windsor kids. A lot of Gate 14 fans from Windsor. So taking pictures with the other team after the game is sometimes bad luck, but I don't give a fuck. I think it's pretty funny. So shout out to those
You're
guys.
Ride or die, man.
Yeah,
no. Going back to the Twitter thing though. The Twitter thing, when I immediately saw it was when I did the giveaway. And by the way, I'm really happy. Like, listen, I know there's no such thing as being like technically unselfish because every single thing you do, you technically get a feeling about it. You know what I'm saying, Avery?
Sure.
So that kid that I sent the tickets to, my brother was sitting in front of him with his buddy Solzy. Shout out Nick and shout out Solzy. And they took a selfie with this kid, and it's like just the most innocent looking kid and his dad just sitting like 40 rows behind home plate for free on the Gate 14 boys. It was the most like heartwarming thing I've ever seen. And maybe I was a little bit emotional because I was hungover as shit, but seeing that picture, it just ruled. I mean, I did the giveaway when Twitter was technically down. I'm happy it still got out and people could still respond to the tweet. The replies were pretty funny, but if you use ChatGPT, you're cheating. So I didn't take that into consideration. But Twitter is it's dumb. Like I don't understand why Elon Musk, like imagine being an advertiser, and JR's the business guy here. Imagine being an advertiser for Twitter. You're advertising on Twitter and everyone has a limit on what they can see. They can't refresh their shit. How does that make sense from a business standpoint? It's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. He's like testing everything like so quick. Like he'll pull that tomorrow if it's not looking good. Like that's how fast he's moving. Like he was gonna implement like that dumbest thing ever, but then he decided not to. I forget what it was on Twitter.
Everything he does is pretty dumb though on Twitter.
I forget what it was, but it was something crazy that he was gonna do. But I don't know. I mean, he has something in mind that Twitter has been like the best it's ever been. Like, you know,
not right now. This is terrible. Like I can't see.
I don't really get it. I think he's gonna pull it like in a week. I think he's gonna pull it. I don't think he lied. Like he's trolling everyone.
Like not being able to see Dr. Internet's tweets makes me sick. Like Avery had to tell me today that everyone was saying this team makes me sick. And Dr. Internet was just responding, what team? What team are we talking about here?
You just wanted to know, but I feel like I'm a big Twitter on my computer guy. Wow.
Yes. Oh, it works on the computer.
I think so. I've never seen a rate limit exceeded message on my computer,
Oh, okay.
but I might be lying about that actually.
I'm pretty
Um,
sure you could be right though. I think you're right.
but yeah, if that's just part of my day. Like I need to be on Twitter for like even some work stuff just to see what's going on in the sports world. Or do I have to go on ESPN or read a newspaper like my grandfather? Like I'm not going to be happy if that's the case.
Yeah, it's just so dumb. It really is just so dumb. And like you can and the thing is like you're not filtered. So even dumb tweets that someone will retweet will just waste it. You'll just waste you'll wait like a Blue Jays dad tweet will just ruin it for you. You know,
Yep.
It's sickening. But going into my weekend, so I got to talk about this. So I went to Toronto Island. I've never been there before, and my buddies were like, we didn't know how to navigate, like how to walk to where we were. So we went to go meet up with these girls, and Alto takes me to took me and our friend group to a completely other side of the beach. So it's a naked beach that we're at. And we're just walking and there's just dick everywhere. Like it was insane. I will say this. I wish I had the confidence that some of these old folks have, just ripping full dick in public. It's insane the confidence that it takes. I don't think I'll ever be that guy. I genuinely do not think I will ever be that guy. The confidence is insane. So anyways,
it's the same guys who go sauna naked.
Yes, like just right in your face too.
Yeah.
So this is a funny story. So we're just hanging out with these girls and stuff like this. So we obviously get there and we're playing, like we're just throwing the tennis ball, me and Alto, around, like just playing volleyball and like just spiking and shit, like just volleying stuff. And we lose a ball. Like, so our ball gets like spiked far. And this old guy who's wearing like a pink shirt buttoned down with no pants, no underwear on, just like the bottom half is naked when the top half should be. He goes and picks up our ball like in front, like fully naked in front of all the girls, stuff like that. And he just makes like this weird snarky comment. I forgot what he said. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just couldn't imagine being the girls in this aspect. Like this guy just grabbed your volleyball that we're playing with, just dick out, and you had to like look at him while he's doing it and it's just flopping everywhere. It's insane. I will never have that confidence, and I can't believe that that's a thing. Like maybe I don't got that dog in me. I don't know, but you're absolutely
you're just like too young to do that. It's not.
Why did you guys go there?
Because it was just, that was like the less it wasn't like the busiest part. It wasn't like the busiest beach
because
so
everyone was naked on it.
Well, I was no,
probably for good reason.
I will say this though, and all my Toronto followers out there, or if there's anyone that's willing to go to the Toronto Island, if you don't take the Tiki Taxi, just don't send it back. You don't want it. The Tiki Taxi is the greatest fucking thing on the planet because it was hot as shit. So we all hop on the Tiki Taxi on Spadina.
I have no idea what that is, John.
It's just like a taxi with like a Hawaiian theme. So there's just like, it's like a luau. It looks like a luau. It's electric. So we get there and I couldn't get enough of it. I just kept saying, like, when we're on the beach, I was like, I just can't stop thinking about Tiki Taxi. I just want to go back and forth. So this is the funny story. So when we're leaving, Alto and all the guys go back on the ferry. I'm like, no. I'm taking Tiki Taxi back. So I go on the Tiki Taxi and the guy behind the wheel of Tiki Taxi starts going bananas. He's like, holy shit, gate 14, he's going bananas. he like, my buddies couldn't believe it, like, as if the driver of the Tiki Taxi is a gate 14 listener. He was going insane, was taking a picture of me for like his fantasy football group or something like that, because they copied our punishment of the full uniform game. So he was like, you inspired our fantasy football group to have the loser of our fantasy football league to go full uniform, eye black, batting gloves in the back pocket, and full glove. And I was like, you love to see it. But this kid was fired the fuck up. He was whipping the brick. The Tiki Taxi was going nuts. I got to take you boys on it. I'm telling you, this thing changed my fucking
Is it on water?
It is on water, yeah. Because it takes you from Toronto to the island. And this thing is just electric. It just buzzes. They're playing like Margaritaville on like the aux. The old guy like that took us there was just blasting just classics. And just the wind, it cools you down. It's awesome. I highly recommend the Tiki Taxi for our listeners out there. You love to fucking see it.
Besides that, man, what a horrible fucking weekend.
Terrible. This team's ass. Right?
It's the Red Sox, man. The Red Sox suck. Yeah, they fucking suck.
You look at some of these pictures that come out, it's like
We got diced up by 2 Canadians, which was, I guess, was nice, but
I'll tell you what, James Paxton is a freak. I guess we can go into it now. That dude.
I just wish we couldn't talk about baseball because there's fuck.
Well,
I wish this was a free agency podcast.
We don't got to talk about baseball, man. There's tons of shit to talk about. For example, we're going to Detroit this weekend. We'll be there in the building on Saturday. The Gate 14 boys. It's going to be a pretty funny vlog.
Do you hear what? Do you know what I have to do this weekend? So we have a 9 a.m. game in Guelph on Sunday. So I will be leaving Windsor
about 4 a.m.
5:45 probably. I'm like in advance. I'm not going to make it for pregame. I'm going to make it for game time.
That is the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life.
All the boys on your team are going to know that
100%
something went up that
and
night.
that you're hungover as shit.
Mhm.
Everyone on the planet is going to know that, which is kind of cool, actually.
Well, that's fine. I'll keep it together, but
I don't think I think you now have like the responsibility to not keep it together because like they're gonna be like they're gonna know you did.
I have to show up, man. Fuck.
I will be getting. I'll say it right now. I will be. If you see the Gate 14 boys in Detroit, I just want to make it clear I am going to be shithoused at this in Detroit. Just want to make that clear. It's going to be
Chris
electric.
Roach will be in the building too.
Chris Roach will be there. Gate 14 legend. Yeah, it's going to rule. And another thing that I want to touch on this weekend, I went to a bar this weekend in Toronto. Dog and Bear. Might be the greatest place on the planet.
Love that place, man.
It might.
Have you been there, Ave?
Yep.
If the Dog and Bear is listening to this, that's where we should do our Gate 14 night because that place fucking rules. I put on a show. I actually, at one point, this is how fucked up I was yesterday. At one point, a gate, like 4 or 5 Gate 14 listeners came up to me. I bought them all drinks. Obviously, again, very dumb. I spent a pretty decent amount of money there. So this one guy comes up to me and I already had 2 drinks in my hand. I don't want to go buy another drink. So I just handed him my credit card.
You're going to hand him the drink.
I was like, take my credit card, get whatever drink you want, brother. And he just came back with my card. I was like, okay, now we go. Like, this is how dumb I am. If you're a Gate 14 listener and you see me at the bar, it is a automatic drinks on me. You're a ride or die. That's how we roll. These dudes were going bananas when they saw me. And did
they have a lineup of buddies trying to get drinks after that, or what?
No, it was like 4 or 5 dudes, but I only bought it for like 2 of them because only 2 of them only 2 of them wanted a drink because the rest were like, Johnny, dude, like, don't buy us a fucking drink. 2 of them were like, whatever. And one of the guys was like, oh, I was the guy that DM'd you that you guys sent me that fucked up Gate 14 hat with like the inside of it coming out of the outside. I was like, oh, that was you.
He got his new hat.
It was an all-time tire pump because those girls we were at the beach with, like, they didn't understand like Gate 14. Like, my buddy's trying to explain it to them, like how big it is, all type of stuff. And all these guys were coming up to me at the bar in front of them, and they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, this is the greatest tire pump of my fucking life. So
didn't that happen on Friday too? A little tire pump?
Yeah, Friday, a little tire pump on date night for me. It was electric.
They're just warming you up, man. These Gate 14 guys.
Yeah, they're buzzing. This guy, I mean, like I said, I put on a show Saturday night.
It's Johnny Toronto, and it's my favorite Johnny that I've ever
Johnny
Toronto is all
Johnny
time.
Detroit is gonna be.
Johnny Detroit put on a bad.
We have a lot of listeners in Windsor.
No, Johnny Detroit's gonna go nuts. But that I'll put on a show there as well. I'm just saying though, like, bury me in Toronto. Fucking bury me.
You love Toronto.
I love Toronto. I wish I could afford to live there, obviously, but I'm just chilling at Alto's place. But I will say this: with people saying, "Oh, you're mooching off Alto," all this type of stuff. I pay for all of Alto's shit. When we go out, I soak everything, and he's just like, "Dude, relax. Like, you're good, man." And I just feel guilty. I was like, oh, "Let's get us a great."
Apparently, he tried to pay Alto $500 just for staying at his place for a couple.
But I didn't do it because I know he would have got fucking pissed. But yeah, no, I've been having a good time. Listen, to our young listeners out there, go out, enjoy your life, go in Toronto.
Don't let a baseball team ruin your mood.
Don't let a baseball team ruin you. Let's go into it now. The Toronto Blue Jays. This might be the most depressing team I've ever watched. And it's like, with expectation wise, with how good the lineup is, with how good like the pitching staff is, this is the most depressing team I've ever seen. I can't believe this, Avery. They are fucking terrible. That Friday game, luckily I was on a beautiful date night, $250 date night.
Holy fuck.
that thank God I was on the date because I would have been miserable if we did a Friday beers for that. That would have been the most miserable stream of our life. They didn't even put up a fight. It was just a dog walking from start to finish. And James Paxton, He's nasty, man. Like, we gotta start having that conversation. That guy's a freak.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't take his strikeouts over, you're an idiot.
Especially against this team, man. Especially against this team.
So when was Alec Manoa's really bad minor league start?
5 days ago today. So Tuesday?
Okay, so if I were to tell you after recording the episode last weekend,
yeah,
that the best news of Canada Day weekend would be Alec Manoa
pitching in Double-A, nonetheless.
Pitching in Double-A, I think I would try and end it all. That's crazy. What a fucking shitty weekend, man. When you get all the fans out to division game, we skull fucked the Red Sox all of last year. And
like,
now,
that's putting it lightly. That's putting it lightly, skull.
And now we're just going to be 500 against them by the end, like the last 2 seasons at the end of this year. It was 16-4, and they're going to go 0-12 or however many games they play against the Red Sox.
I don't.
Justin Turner. Oh my God, do I hate that fuck? Just running around thinking he's Ronald Acuna Jr., getting away with all his shit. Oh, that infuriated me, man.
It's not even him that pisses me off, though, Avery. It's Tristan Casas or whatever.
Casas,
whatever. 5 hits today? Or four doubles today? That's what you give
No,
up?
that was Jarren Duran.
Oh, Jarren Duran. Sorry. Jarren Duran was the guy that pisses me off. But, like, we'll go into the Friday game first. There's not even really much to say about that. Like, that's a game where you just have a shit ton of momentum. You just beat the Giants, who are a good team in the National League. You have all the momentum, and then you just put up a fucking goose egg on the biggest weekend of the year, fans-wise. Like, the tickets were the most expensive. The most people were going to be in the building, in the barn, and you just shit the bed. And you can't even really blame Jose Barrios there, because if he would have won 7 innings, 1 run, he still would have fucking lost that game, Avery.
Yeah, he would have. You're right about that. It's just a pathetic performance for one of the biggest weekends consistently of the year, right? And that's back-to-back disaster classes Canada Day weekend.
And Thomas Hatch getting called up too is kind of funny, though. I will admit that. Just
the only good thing that happened Canada Day I don't actually remember Canada Day much last year was Bradley Zimmer hitting a home run on July 2nd.
Yes, that was the great in the red tarp, just electric. That was an all-time time. That was an all-time day. Just the Zim bomb. He was the piece that held this team together.
It really
team's nothing without him.
What can you say about Friday besides you got split up by a really good pitcher?
And I'll tell you,
and you can tip your cap to that at some point, as our good friends would say. That's ball, man. You're gonna have those games
for sure. But I will say this though, hand up, Yoshida's disgusting. He's
oh my God,
so goddamn good.
Him saying that he thought he was going to be a Blue Jay.
He said that?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like, man? Last week in an article, he said he thought he was going to be a Blue Jay.
Nice, Ross. Attaboy.
See, I don't know. I don't know if it's Ross's fault. But he's on a super team-friendly deal. It's like
and for how good he is too, it's insane. Like, he is a freak. He's putting up crazy numbers. I love Yoshida, man.
Do you think old people should be able to win Rookie of the Year?
Like Michael Bunting situation?
Yeah.
Like the 30-year-old? No. I think there should be an age limit.
Like Yoshida's about to be, what, 30?
I think it's 29, right?
Yeah. And he signed a 5-year, $90 million deal.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. That's the most team-friendly thing I've ever heard for a guy as good as he is.
Yeah.
He's insane. And I will admit, though, as much as I hate Justin Turner, his swing is so cool that when he's raking, it's kind of sick to see.
He hits like weirdly cool home runs from the right side. It's just like barrel out in front, one hand high finish. Like, how does that ball go 400 feet every time he hits a long home run?
Getting swept, though, is the most inexcusable thing of like the year. I still can't believe they got swept by that team. Like, that team fucking blows. Looking at that lineup, they have Joe Jocks or Jackas closing out games today. Like, they have just these randoms.
I mean, his name being pronounced the way it is a crime against. Because it's Joe Jocks, like perfect French Canadian name, and it's I forget how you pronounce it.
It's just like that. Yeah, I guess we could just conclude that Friday game was you can't even really blame Barrios on that. He's been unbelievable for you all year. Has a start where he gives up 4 runs, and you can't at least give him a little bit of help. Like you can't put up a 2 or a 3 spot or anything like that, just to kind of at least give you guys a pulse. James Paxton just made slight work of this team. He just strikeout, dog shit at bat, dog shit at bat, dog shit at bat. That's what it was the entire game. It was such a fucking shit game to watch. And that's how we'll end it. That's how we'll end that game. Let's go into the Saturday game, the Canada Day game. That I will say this: the Canada game, Ave, pissed me off more than today's game, because the Canada Day game, you had that Vladdy signature moment at the end, comes up clutch, opposite field single that scores a guy at least, and you got Luis Rivera, who has no goddamn idea what he's doing on third base. Did you see what he was doing, Avery? He had his hand up halfway. Bo obviously looks like he blows past it, but he gave the stop sign up way too late. That one sucked, because that was a signature moment on Canada Day in front of 55,000 or 50,000, whatever it is. I always fuck that up. And it gets ruined because a guy gets thrown out by 50 feet. Like, that wasn't even climactic. Bo wasn't even close. Like, he was out by 50 feet.
So I had to rewatch the game because we played. And so we have someone doing Game Changer on their phones, which is like updating all the stats. And I would always ask, like, hey, John, like, I need the J score all the time. Like, you need to tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
And then Connor Morrow comes back. He's like, they got thrown out to plate to end the game. So I think to myself, it's got to be a close play, whatever, bang, bang. You can kind of deal with that. And then I saw the play, and in my car, I was like, what? Holy shit. I said it out loud. I was like, what? I couldn't believe where he ended up on that to tie a game on Canada Day. Are we brain dead?
And the guy that was batting next was Matt Chapman, who had a double and a home run this game. So he was seeing the ball well this game. So you took the bat out of his hands.
So
absurd.
Alex Verdugo's 94th percentile arm strength. Alex Verdugo, that is a classic in and out perfect liner to him on turf. It was just the most candy ass play that could ever be made for an outfielder to throw someone out. And the ball was hit hard as well. It was just not the right one to go on. And I feel like Luis Rivera's made this mistake time and time again.
Yeah. It felt like he was sending him because he didn't want him to hesitate in case Verdugo bobbled it.
But he did hesitate.
If you look when he puts his hand out, like, Bo is like just at third. Like, if he has, like, he stops in time if like he has his head up, but it looked like he was sending him like in case he bobbles it, because Verdugo was coming like in.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of, like, you're right. It seemed like a no-brainer. I think that was the case. I think he was sending him because he didn't want him to hesitate in case there was a bobble, because he was going to send him home. Because, like, his hand was, it's not like his hand was up that late. It's just when Bo was halfway down to third.
Yeah,
he had his head up, and then he just put his head right down.
Yeah, so you're waving him, and he's like, okay, I got to fucking score no matter what.
Yeah, so Bo was like, I got to score, and then he was just stunned when he put his head up past third, and he saw the stop sign.
Yeah.
But are we in like universal? Are we like universally agreeing though, all three of us, that was a stupid like send in that situation with the guy with the best arm? That's like the only thing you do is
the ball was hit so hard and right to him. And
literally.
Yeah, I love how Buck was just horned up in the box, because I think it was like 3 plays before he says, I'm sending everyone, but if it's hit to Verdugo, and then he was out by him.
A literal mile.
Buck's just having a field day when that happened.
A literal fucking mile. I still couldn't believe it. I was watching it, and I was a little bit fucked up when I was watching it. I made a TikTok so angry. I was like, what the hell? It was insane. Like, the fact that, one, the third base coach doesn't realize that Verdugo is the only one without a noodle arm. So if that ball hits there, you just immediately stop low, and no one's
like,
going to
get
mad
scouting reports before the game too. Like,
and
third base coaches.
I mean,
exactly.
And it's in the division. You've seen Verdugo play for years.
But this is my thing, though. This is my thing with this, though, is like, if he stops him and the crowd sees this nuke arm one hop to the catcher, everyone's like, yeah, that's a great hold by fucking Luis Rivera. Like, that was a win situation for him to hold him there. Like, it was especially with Matty Chapstick up next, who's raking this game, just taking the bat out of his hand. But what really aggravated me about that game, boys, was the no one taking accountability for fucking this up. Like Bo was blaming Luis Rivera. John Schneider and Luis Rivera were kind of blaming Bo, not giving the blame to it. Why doesn't someone just take fucking accountability like Luis Rivera and say, I put my hands up too late? Like, why does John Schneider and everyone does this little toe tap bullshit around like a subject they don't want to talk about and just say stupid shit? Like, that was so dumb. It was just a stupid thing. Like, if someone just takes accountability and says, that was like Luis, I don't know what the fuck he was doing there. And we had a discussion with Luis after the game. Like, you have to know the situation and the arm and all that type of stuff. You don't send him.
He knows that shit. Like, there's no way he's unprepared. And if he was unprepared, if he's unprepared all the time, he loses his job. It's like he knows, and it's just that's baseball. It's just such a quick decision, and it was just the wrong one in time. I wish he just would have fucking waved him all the way around.
Just like committed to it. You mean committed to it? Yeah. Because that's what stopped Bo. Because Bo like double clutched when he was running. He like kind of
I can't believe he went after oh my god.
That's gonna haunt my dreams, bro. That's gonna that base running
so
mistake,
much, Johnny. Like,
that's gonna haunt my dreams. Like, I'll tell you what, that base running mistake is gonna haunt my dreams. Like,
then Vladdy and Kenley Jansen just like laughing with each other after the game.
That pissed me off too, bro. But I'll tell you what though, man, the Vladdy's not a clutch player. I mean, he showed up there, man, against a decently good, like a pretty good closer in Kenley Jansen. So it's just, I mean, Chapsticks was 2 for 3 up next. It just know the fucking situation. That's like the moral of the story here. Obviously, a bad start from Yusei. This Red Sox lineup, I'll say this, although their record's not good, they're a scrappy fucking team, man.
Well, some of those guys at the bottom suck, but
like David Hamilton,
yeah, Connor Wong and stuff like that. It's so depressing, man. What a disaster. And you know what this team does? Disaster weekend. We think they're the worst baseball team of all time. They'll go win and just rattle off a couple series.
They'll go 3 series wins in a row, like they did before this series. They lose a series to the Rangers after they blow a massive game on the Sunday, and then they win 3 or 2 or I think it's 3. They win 3 series in a row, and you're like all the way back in on this team. That's what they do. They lost to the Rangers.
You just can't get swept,
especially against a division opponent. Because now I know this is looking way down the line here, but if the Jays and the Red Sox are in a tiebreaker, the Red Sox won. They already won the season series in June. They won. The season series is over now. Jays lost.
Do you want to talk about the Vladdy isn't a clutch player stat?
Let's hear it.
15th best clutch player in baseball this year.
Really? Wow.
It's a Fangraphs metric. It's got to be like win probability added in big spots or something, but he's 15th on this list.
Okay. Yeah. This is my thing. And I know it's still, can we even really say it's early still? I don't even know.
No, you can't say it. You think you're Mike Wilner? It's not early, Johnny.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is like,
you can rattle off a run.
Like, for example, the Phillies are on an 18-6 run. The Jays could easily do that.
Yes,
and just pull you all the way back in.
I know, but they suck when we need them to do that.
Against bad teams like this. Look at this run they would have had, Avery. Like A's, Giants, dog shit Red Sox, dog shit White Sox, dog shit Tigers to go into the All-Star break.
Yeah.
What? Like that's a stretch you got to capitalize on. That's why the Rays are so good. They capitalize on these dog shit stretches against these dog shit teams. So it's just aggravating, man.
You can't, and I've talked about this every single time we play a division opponent and stink it up like we did. You can't make up ground. Like, that's the most ground to make up is
for sure
playing the opponents in front of you.
Yeah, for sure.
You take away all the other teams, luck, whatever's going on. You just have to beat the team in front of you, and things start to go your way. And the other teams are playing like shit in their division too. The O's kind of struggle a little bit as of recently. The Yankees somehow staying afloat with the worst offense in baseball. Get Carlos Rodon back. Judge, hopefully he doesn't play for the rest of the year, but they still stay afloat, and the Yankees suck. The Yankees are not more talented than this team, and it's not even close.
They have Billy McKinney in their fucking lineup, bro, every day, and Jake Bowers. This is like this American League, and I think our guy Griff tweeted it out. almost every single team in the American League is under 500 in the last like 20 or 30 days or whatever it is. Like the Jays are 9-11 and have like the 6th best record in the American League since whatever, like since the last 20 games, something I think it was. Majority of the teams are just bad. Like the Jays are a game and a half out of a playoff spot, and they are playing the worst baseball I've ever fucking seen. And let's be clear here. We said this also with the Giants series. The games they win, they have no right fucking to win these games. Like 3-hit wins, score 5 in the first, never score again the rest of the game. They're not winning baseball games. And that's like the writing was in the sand there with this team, which sucks. But you have to kind of be positive about it. You just know, and I know we said this multiple times. We all say this, Avery. You just know this team is going to go on just a miraculous Linsanity run in August and September and be in the second wildcard spot and just pull you all the way back in.
But you're fine with that. That's how baseball works.
But relying on that as a fan and having to watch this dog shit baseball until like August is the worst part. Yeah. That's what pisses me off.
Oh my God. Have you seen the Braves record? Their last 160 games.
It's ridiculous. They made Perez S how do you pronounce it? What the Marlins pitcher?
Oh,
Esteury Perez or whatever?
No, that's Esteury Ruiz. Perez.
Yuri Perez.
Yeah,
they made him look like a little league pitcher. They put up 2 runs on him in 7 pitches. Like no one other. Alex Anthopoulos is just making us look like idiots. And I don't know, man. I'm not talking about the Anthopoulos stuff, but fuck, man. Imagine doing a Braves podcast or just being Braves fans. It fucking rule. Yeah. You just know every year you're going to win the division. You're going to go at least to the championship series in the playoffs, and you're going to watch unbelievable brand of baseball. Like Ronald Acuna, who might have 80 stolen bases this year.
That's crazy.
Like Matt Olson, Sean Murphy, like obviously, the third baseman, Austin Riley. They are a fucking wagon. Imagine rooting for that team. That would be sick. Instead, we got to fucking watch a team that gets swept by the Boston Red Sox and Connor Wong in the bottom of the lineup.
But this is the thing.
Justin Turner.
The thing that's different is the Braves are fucking great, and they don't have a lot of minor league resources to come. The Blue Jays are mid and have no minor league resources to come.
Nothing. And
this is the thing scary about the Orioles. They have a full major league lineup just playing in AAA every day.
And I guess you can technically even say the Rays too. Like the Rays have like a decent bullpen in AAA and just arms they could just continue to keep bringing up and put up good numbers. Like that's the biggest failure for me in the Ross Atkins, Mark Shapiro tenure is the fact that these teams like the Orioles, Rays, like they tanked, or not the Rays, I guess technically, but like the Orioles tanked and were dog shit. And now they're right where the Jays are. And some may argue, obviously, they have a way brighter future, a way better team right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to be good for such a long period of time with the Jays doing nothing in that time period where the Orioles tanked. So the Orioles are going to go through a tank, still replenish their system, have trade pieces if they want to really go for it. And the Jays are just, who the fuck do the Jays have? Casey Lawrence in AAA?
Yeah, like the O's have like Colton Cowser in there, Heston Kjerstad. They have so many good white prospects. It's hilarious how many like just white prospects they have. College bats as well. But they don't really have pitching prospects. They're not a great pitching system. Grayson Rodriguez is obviously there, and they had like DL Hall. Other than that, but then they use those great prospects. They drafted incredibly well. The Jays would fuck up the draft if they got the good picks.
Yeah.
Right? Like it just hats off to a good organization making good calls consistently. I'm pretty sure Judd Fabian is in this O system. They will have way too many Major League Baseball quality players on their team by the middle of next year, and they won't have enough spots for all of them. They just won't.
And you know what they're going to do? They're going to trade it to teams that are like tanking, I guess.
And they're going to go get Corbin Burns for a playoff run or something like that.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Like, I'm trying to be Johnny Positivity, but looking at the big picture here, the Orioles and Rays, they're going nowhere. Like the Yankees don't have the prospects. Like I don't think they're that good prospect wise, and even like they rely a lot on buying players. But The Orioles are going to be a problem for such a long time. Jackson Holiday's a freak. This kid's
I didn't even talk about Jackson Holiday. He's their best prospect in their system, probably.
And he's coming up too. It's insane.
He's
I know we're not Orioles podcast.
years old.
It's just such a fucking failure from this front office, man. Like
it's because we sold off the farm, which wasn't great to start, and there's no winning to show for it, and there's no prospects to show for it. So we can't call it a success right now, can we?
You can't. They haven't won a playoff game.
As good as this team should be and is at times, this hasn't been a successful run.
They haven't won a playoff game since I was 19 years old. So, I mean, put that into fucking perspective. You get the hopes up. Like this weekend, I really had high hopes going into this weekend. I was like, you know what? Let's beat a division opponent. They're playing decent baseball with good pitching. They're getting away with these wins.
The Red Sox had lost 6 straight baseball games.
And they just made the Jays look like a little league team. I mean, that Saturday game was absurd. The Red Sox offense was just launching. Justin Turner, Yoshida is so, like, I know we talked. He is so goddamn good. But that Saturday game, I know today's game sucked.
Too, man.
Devers too, but that Saturday game sucked way more than today's game. I don't know if that's a hot take, but today's game wasn't even in the same stratosphere as yesterday because of the moment Vladdy gets a clutch hit and just the most anticlimactic ending. Not even a bang play at the plate. This dude was waiting with the ball.
I was actually shocked that Bo slid. He was out by that much. I thought he was just going to give himself up.
It was insane. Absurd. But yeah,
we ruined another Kevin Gausman start today.
Yeah, today, Kevin Gausman, I don't know what more this guy has to do. His last 2 starts, his last one, he goes 12 strikeouts, gives up 1 run, gets a loss, which that one is just, I can't believe it. That one's fucking insane. And then today, he goes 5 innings, 7 punchies, 2 earned runs, gets a no decision. Like that's the stat lines that Kevin Gausman has on any other team. He's like a 12-2 pitcher. Yeah. I know record doesn't matter, but it's absurd that this guy is just continuing to pitch his dick off and just continuing to get losses or just no decisions on the games and stuff like that. I can't believe it, man. I feel so bad for this guy. Today's game should have been an easy win. You're up 4-2. Brandon Belt's having a legacy game, two nukes from the cock, which is like all time. That's why he's our guy. And you just waste it. I know Swanee's our guy, but I don't really blame Swanee. I just blame how many times you use this guy.
Yeah, so we have good bullpen pieces, 100%. But when you have to use the same guys nonstop, they get tired. And then when you get tired, velo's down, pitch movement's down, and you fucking see him every time. They're gonna know what he throws. Like Swanee's our guy. We talked to him about it. He's like, "How do you feel? You pitch every fucking day."
Yeah, he was just like, "I don't know, bro." He was just like, I mean, he's thrown 39 innings already at the halfway point, and his career high is like 52 or something like that.
I think a really good reliever season gets up to what Simber was 80, and he's like a longer guy too, who you think is putting out different stresses on his arm than overhead pitchers. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of work for our big guys, and it's starting to not go well.
It's starting to backfire because you're relying at the end of the day, you're relying on these guys to come into games when it's 1-0, 2-0, like a 1-run game, because your offense doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like imagine going a week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever, like only having to use these guys 2 or 3 times maybe because you just dog walk teams, win fucking 10-2, 10-3. Then you just have to throw Swanson in just to get them working in a blowout. It's like the Jays don't do that for their bullpen. Like they tax the bullpen so bad where now it's like you're starting to see the regression. Like Jordan Romano obviously has not looked good the last week or whatever he's been pitching in. It's just like really shaky. Today, that ball he gave up to Verdugo was...
Verdugo owns him.
That was annihilated. But it's like you're starting to see the effects here, boys. Like, it's not good. Like, today, guys that are usually good for you aren't being good. Like, Swanee struggled. Romano struggled. The only guy that's been consistent, like the best bullpen piece so far that's been really consistent, is fucking Trevor Richards.
Yeah, Tim Mesa too.
Tim Mesa almost gave it up today too, though.
Yep.
Walked the bases loaded. So it just today's game, I really thought they were going to win that for Kevin Gossman today, man. Like they are up 4-2 in the driver's seat and just immediately.
And what a stupid play to tie the game too.
By Vladdy? I don't know.
No, it wasn't bad. By Justin Turner was out by 10 feet. If it's a little bit better throw, we go get the ball and put a tag on him. It was just such a Justin Turner's legs losing us a baseball game infuriates me.
Yeah, that was the worst part. Like Vladdy's not really been that good defensively. I don't know if the numbers back that up. I saw Nene Takes put it on Twitter or something like that. Like he's not putting up crazy numbers. Like there has to be a little bit of critique, or you can critique him a little bit here because he's struggled defensively, man. He does not like Brandon Belt is putting up, I think, better numbers than him, like as a whole, defensive wise. Like Vladdy's like that throw today, dude. He had all the time in the world. Like Justin Turner was out by like 20 feet there, and he
did have to make a great, for him to be out. It would have taken a great, like, perfect throw, but still, like,
it wasn't even close to a perfect throw though.
No, it wasn't.
Like the worst part about that was though, and I will say this, was Dalton Varsho bobbling it when 100%. Justin Turner was like crawling to home plate. Like he was literally crawling to home plate. Varsho, decent arm, gets him. And he bobbles it. I'm like, oh my God, here comes the fucking circus act. Yeah. It never ends. I can genuinely say this has probably been rock bottom this year. And it's not even close. I know maybe in Fenway when they took 3 of 4 against us with like the blown save by Romano again with Verdugo and all type of stuff. But this is rock bottom. Like just like the elevation of just the atmosphere. You're playing on Canada Day weekend, the biggest weekend of the year, fans wise, like I mentioned. And you just lay a goose egg like that. You get swept by the last place team that's 500. Terrible, dude. So bad.
It's pretty inexcusable. I hate to be the guy, but things can change if you win 6 games in a row here to end.
That's what you sweep the White Sox and then take 2 or 3 from the Tigers. Then everything's just changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking, I don't know, man. I usually don't have enjoyment watching this team. Like I knew today there was going to be something happening. Like they were going to lose that game. Right when Swanee made it 4-3, I was like, here we go. Here comes the circus act. And by the way, that pitch Romano threw to Verdugo couldn't have been more of a cock shot.
No, it was the most middle fastball of all time. That was home run derby shit, man.
It was just absolutely shot on. And the Jays haven't really had a moment like that this year, man. Like, I just continue to keep waiting for that walk-off or that, like, where the Jays just rattle off and just go on this crazy Linsanity run. But it hasn't happened this year. They'll get momentum and then they'll ruin it game 1 of a series like they did. Like
maybe it's not meant to be this year, man.
I don't know. We're on to 2028, I guess. 2024. Start reselling the pieces. Like, what do you do, Ave? Like, what do you do with this? Like, how do you shake something up? You have to like fire Guillermo or just fire someone.
What is it firing the hitting coach gonna do?
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, you got to switch something up, man.
Not that I disagree with you, but
obviously what they have is not working, right? Clearly, what they have going for them right now is not working. They're fucking terrible. They're a team that had World Series aspirations that is 4 games above 500 right now. 4 games above 500. A game and a half out of a wild card spot, the 3rd wild card spot, dare I say, the third fucking wild card spot, and they've already lost the division. That's not even going to be close. I mean, they're like, what, 12, 15 games back, something in that range? That's done. It sucks. It's a harsh reality now. We're playing for a wild card game, and you know they're going to, like you said, Avery, they're going to at some point turn this around, go 8 out of 10, and then we're all the way back in. That's just what this team does. But I will never say that B word, though. I will never say that B word.
This stretch will be, I think, something will happen if it's bad. Like D-backs, Padres, Mariners. Like this is like the game TSN turning point is this stretch.
I think they got to take care of business this week.
We might be the other B word.
Bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just like
We'll find out for
what's
sure.
a successful week for you guys here? Because you like the Jays are
Have
facing
to get 5.
5 out of 6.
Wow.
4 or 5 out of 6.
4 out of
I
6
don't-
for sure. If we get 4 out of
4 and
6.
2 is still shit for me against the Tigers and the White Sox.
I mean, 5 out of 6 would be ideal, but
You know
I
they're
mean,
not
This
doing
team
that.
I
doesn't
think
back-to-back
a sweep and a
sweep.
2-1, but fuck, that, for some reason saying that feels terrible. It feels like we can't do it.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that. Like the Tigers are gonna just rot. Torkelson will probably go 4 for 5 one game with like 2 nukes and just body bag us, put us in our place. But
we're gonna drive 4 hours to Windsor to watch them get fucking shit pumped.
that would be so depressing. I really hope it doesn't fucking happen, dude. I just want to watch good baseball. Okay, I watch the Atlanta Braves. I have a lot of friends that are Braves fans. I watch the Phillies games because of Bryson. These teams are exciting as shit. Like they win games like 10-1, 10-2. Like they put up crooked numbers against teams. This Jays team is fucking like pulling teeth watching them. It is so boring. And I know you can compare it to other like the Padres or the Mariners or stuff like that.
The
Fuck
Mets.
that, man. The Mets. Like, I'm not comparing it to that. This is just terrible. I just want it to end. It's so bad. It's such a bad brand of baseball that I can't believe we're a part of right now. Like, and when they win, they don't give you the satisfaction of a fucking win because they just barely do it.
I'm looking now. This Jays team is a top 6 offense in baseball.
Not runner scoring position, though. That's the problem.
It's true.
We'll never understand it. I will never understand it.
But
But
we did have some good developments, Gate 14 wise, that we won't tell you what they are.
because it got pushed.
We got it
saw that?
pushed.
Yeah. It get pushed to next week.
Can you give a rating out of 10 based off the initial impression of the samples?
What samples?
Didn't you get the samples?
For what? What are you talking about?
No,
What
he's talking about
samples?
he's
The
talking about
independent launch.
No, I didn't get any samples
classic.
Well, that's
that I
I
paid
want to know
for.
I don't want to know your excitement for what we have in the works though.
Okay, I will probably say,
I'm 10 out of 10 excited.
yeah, me too. Because this guy seems like he's electric, and he gets us. I'm sure a lot of our listeners probably know what we're talking about, but it'll be during the All-Star break. We'll get it going because it was supposed to be tomorrow, but there's a they're taking 2 planes to the game tomorrow because it's like family day for the Blue Jays. So it's just every kid, every wife, every whatever nanny is coming. So they have 2 planes. So I was about to say the name. I didn't say the name, but he texted me. He's like, or he DM'd me and he was like, listen, man, this is going to be hectic as shit. Like, I don't think you guys want me to do this during this. So like, can we push it to next week or something like that or whenever? So yeah, next Monday we'll be hammering it out. So
that might be the middle of the halfway point pod where it would
yes.
be electric.
Yes, that'd be a great podcast. But yeah, so that's where we're at with that. But let's talk about before we go into listener questions in the next series preview. Alec Manoa pitched tonight. Looked sharp. Looked fucking sharp, man.
Fastball 95. What a shocking thing by the Jays to do.
Oh, you
Right?
got shelled in the Florida Complex League? Let's send you up to Double-A with way better hitters.
Yeah.
They're rushing it, man. They are really rushing him up. Like he's going to be in Triple-A next week, Abe. Like he'll be back after the All-Star break.
Well, I don't know why. Why would he go AAA? I think he would just go AA straight back.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
But they're rushing him though, man. Like
Well, maybe they were right about what they saw from him. I guess.
But he was throwing 95, 10 strikeouts. Obviously,
Slider looked pretty good. I thought 3 walks and a hit batter, but that's what Alec Manoa does.
Oh yeah, that's how he always is.
He hit the most batters in the AL last year.
10 strikeouts though, huh?
It's
10
AA,
punchies.
but
But every guy that I've talked to, all the show guys that I talked to, says Double-A is the best league.
yeah,
It's full of like the actual real like pure prospects, like the best hitters, all that.
AAA is filled with a lot of old guys that
Yes.
have nowhere to go.
Yes.
So AA is very tough. There's a lot of talent in AA baseball.
Maybe Florida Complex League is the best league. I don't know.
People have started to say that Florida Complex League is where careers go to die. So Make sure you stay out of the complex league.
I really hope I mean, that'd be an awesome development because then that means Trevor Richards back to the pen. So we get to see Trevor Richards more often, the Silver Fox. So
yeah.
I would love that development. But just what a weird get shelled in the complex league against 18 to 22-year-olds and then pitch in AA and just shove. Like he shoved.
Yeah.
10 strikeouts is fucked. So here,
You
I'll
haven't
ask
seen
you a
that
question
one.
here. I'll ask you a question. Is this next start with the Toronto Blue Jays?
No. We get to the break.
Yeah.
You see it through for
Mhm.
another start and a half, or 2 starts, and then he's back.
Okay. So you're saying middle of July, maybe? End of July?
Because they have the break.
Yeah.
So he has what? 2 weeks? 2 weeks as of Friday.
Like
until-
over under 2.5 weeks. He makes an
Under.
appearance.
under.
Okay.
It's taxing the bullpen, man. Doing the bullpen game every day.
I
This isn't the
hope,
playoffs. You can't
Yeah.
do this all year.
I hope I really hope he's back as soon as possible because this bullpen is just it's on thin ice when you have to throw Trent Thornton a lot. It's not great. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Manoa, man.
All-Stars too.
All-Stars, people are so mad about Whit Merrifield.
Well, the weird Wander Franco should be an all-star over Whit Merrifield.
100%.
The way they did it was they just took another shortstop though and took another second baseman when they should have just taken them as middles, and
Yeah.
Whit would have made it. So that's the problem with how MLB did that. And then what, Michael Lorenzen's an all-star.
That's
Great.
fucked. He is terrible. He sucks. But
yeah. Well, I'm sure
my
he's
thing. It's just,
pitching
I don't
against the
understand the
Jays.
whole like just complaining about the fucking all-star. It's just such a tiring thing on the timeline. Like it's just
Mhm.
people complaining about it, like, oh, Whit Merrifield, like, who cares, dude? Like Santiago Espinal was an all-star last year. They fuck it up every year. Why are we just now complaining about this? This is a constant fucking thing. They do this every single year. They screw it up every year.
100%.
So let's relax. Like
But who? So Gosman, Whit,
Bo,
Vlad.
Vladdy. Yeah.
I'm happy with that, man.
Don't hate
Congrats
that.
to those guys.
I just, I couldn't care less. To be honest with you, I'll forever will be an all-star hater until it gets back to how serious it was back in the day. Then I'll be back in. I'll be back in. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. Any listener questions before we do the White Sox series preview?
It's a lot of, we have a lot of them, but it's a lot of trade deadline stuff because
maybe we'll do those ones.
No, we can still do them here, but people are not optimistic about the future.
Okay,
I'll say that. First one, what positions would you upgrade at the deadline? Maybe
it'd have to be the bullpen just based off how taxed it is, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Pitching rotation and maybe an outfield piece or a middle piece, but you already have guys major league level there like Espinal that they're not going to move on from. So you can't really get that much bats. And
you can't trade that much because you don't have a farm system.
Yeah.
So
I would address I would want to address every position.
Realistically, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
One or two things that could happen in the offseason if the Jays miss the playoffs.
It'd be a fire sale.
Matt
Everyone
Chapman.
would be gone.
Matt Chapman's gone.
Yeah, he's not signing back here, obviously. He's gone.
And Guillermo Martinez doesn't have a job.
Guillermo Martinez doesn't have a job. Ross Atkins won't have a job. Mark Shapiro won't have a job. They will clean house if this team doesn't make the playoffs this year with how much they invested. How much Rogers invested in this team, they will not.
I disagree because I think it's just like a candy-ass organization Rogers is, and them getting people in the building is where they want to make money. So I agree, should probably happen. The business is doing well.
Okay. I guess, yeah. It's
What do you think, Jer?
I think they'll make a big move. Because last year, like they geared up for this. I think they'll make a move.
Yeah,
I think this team is still like, I mean, we know this team's talented. Like, if they go on a little run here, like, if they don't, I think someone gets fired. So, if they make a little run here, I think any sort of momentum they're gonna pounce on it and they're gonna go for it.
Would you rather have?
I think yeah, but like we have like you're right though. We have like no one to trade. Like
Yeah, it's thin. All right. Would you rather have Brandon Belt's cock or Kevin Kiermaier's eyes?
Kevin Kiermaier eyes.
What the fuck is that question?
It's
It's
a
not.
great
It's not.
question.
It's not about the size of the meat. It's about the person operating it. So I'm gonna go with the eyes.
Yeah.
As a known guy with bad eyes, I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Kiermaier's eyes. It's guaranteed any girl you want on the planet if you have Kevin Kiermaier's eyes, and it's not even close.
But Brandon Belt's personality is so quirky, and then he
has a hammer. Yeah,
I'll go Brandon Belt's cock.
Okay,
Jer?
that's fine.
I'm going eyes all the way.
Has to be eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Obviously, we all think this team is very good and has way more potential. But at what point are they really only this good? Like, just not good enough.
I think if it's still like this by end of July, if they're just like 4 or 5 games above 500, then it's like, oh no, this team's fucking terrible. This team's just, it'd be the definition of mid, actually. Like, that's literally what the definition of mid is what this team is right now.
Yeah.
Just mid, like not bad, not good, just in the middle of the pack. That's what it is.
All right. If you had a cookout but couldn't invite 3 Blue Jays, who's not coming? One from each of us.
One Blue Jay that I wouldn't invite, that I don't, that, okay, so a Blue Jay that you don't think that you would like as a person?
Like you wouldn't invite them to have beers, pretty much.
You just don't want them at the cookout, man. I would say Kevin Kiermaier because I don't want him to fuck my old lady.
Yeah,
so
that's but I would love to
Come
hear
on,
stories.
but he attracts the ladies.
I'd
too.
love to hear. Yeah, but that's a guy that puts asses in seats, though.
Mhm.
That's guaranteed. Girls are going to be at that party.
I'll go Simber.
Yeah, you stole mine. I was going to go Simber. I'm trying to think who I would go. Like, maybe Tim Meza. He's like he gives me really weird guy vibes.
Just anyone who went to John Boy at this part of the season isn't invited to the cookout.
Yeah, it's okay. That's a good 3.
Yeah.
How long do you think you guys could last on a mechanical bull?
9 seconds. Maybe.
I would say probably like 8.
Maybe we should try that when we
8.4.
go to Windsor. I think
there is a bull there.
I just don't want that footage of me out there.
Yeah, no, I will never get on the bull. I won't do it.
That footage of me would go crazy. People just use it against me. But we're in the clicks business, so.
What moment is better in Jay's history? Going back to back in 92-93 or Brandon Belt having a 2-home run day against the Boston Red Sox?
I would remember this game very differently if they won. It would be the Brandon Belt legacy game. And they took that from us. They took that from us tonight. They took a Brandon Belt legacy game and they just said, fuck you. You're not having it tonight. Makes me sick. That aspect made me sick. The guy hits 2 home runs the day after Blue Jays dad said he doesn't hit home runs. And you
really
just
he said that?
Yeah. Said that yesterday. Then he hits 2 home runs the next day.
He's the best, man. Holy shit. Yeah, more trade deadline stuff. Assuming a playoff spot is out of reach, do you trade anyone on the Jays?
It'll be too late to do that. They'll always be in a playoff spot. Like they'll always be in contention for a playoff spot, especially before the trade deadline now. They'll always be like a game and a half, 3 games in hand. Like, and the front office is just like the fans. They know that they are like a 18-6 run like the Phillies are on. They're a run like that away from just being first place in the wild card.
Yes.
So there's always that kind of false hope. They're not out of it until they're out of it, realistically, I guess. That's like the best description I could probably come up with this. They'll never sell. I don't think they'll ever be sellers.
Mm-hmm.
If the Mariners end up sellers at the deadline, would you guys be open to a Teo reunion?
That would be funny. I wouldn't hate that because I think he's raking again. If I remember correctly.
I think he's had a
that would just be fucking funny.
An all-time
if they
dog?
ended up with Swanee and Teo back, and I mean he's leading the league in strikeouts, is he not?
Yes, he is.
Like him and Schwarber are
like they're going neck and neck.
Yeah,
they're going neck and neck.
They're Ollie and Tyson going 12.
That's what this team's missing, though. Like a guy like Teo, who is just a home run fucking machine, but when he is bad, he's fucking real life terrible.
Well, we had that with Matt Chapman.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though is like the most home runs a guy on this team's on pace for is like 27. They said, so it's like this is not a home run team anymore. And with last year, it really was. I fucking loved. I mean, oh my god, that team last year was so fun to watch.
2 years ago, man.
2 years ago as well. Yeah, that would be funny though.
That's all I got for listener.
Bring back
question.
Nick Frosso too. Fuck it. By the way, the red jerseys, burn them. I don't want. I'm done. I'm done with
The
the red
record has
jersey.
to be horrible in them.
Someone calculate that for us, because these red jerseys, I swear to God, I've never seen the Toronto Blue Jays play good in these ever in my life. They have never been good in these red jerseys. They are the kryptonite of this fucking ball club. Like, it's embarrassing how bad they are in these fucking jerseys, bro. I can't believe it. Fuck those jerseys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks that they have.
I think they do look cool when all the guys wear the red gear though. Like Jano's gear was cool.
Yeah, Jano's gear was cool. Okay, so let's go into the series preview. So let's go to the probables here. Tuesday, Chris Bassett versus Lucas Giolito. Mismatch. Right? Lucas Giolito's not that. Oh, never mind. Giolito's been pretty good this year. 3.53. That might be an L. Fuck.
We're gonna see so many change-up strikeouts.
Game 2. This is the game. I'm gonna peg this game 2 as must win. Jose Barrios versus fucking Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn has a 6.47 ERA.
Lance Lynn struck out 17 guys like 2 starts ago.
Yeah, against the Mariners though.
Yeah, that is true. Then he got shelled by the Angels on Friday.
Yeah.
Or Thursday, whenever that was.
And then Thursday it's Cy Young going.
They're good against lefties.
Okay. Fuck. I want to say they have. I'm not going to. Okay, I say we don't give a series prediction, but we say they have to sweep the series. Like,
I think the Jays get swept.
Oh, come on now.
I said that for 3 series in a row, and then I didn't say it, and then they got swept.
Okay. They won all 3 of those series too. So
I'll go 2-1. I think 2-1, and then I'm praying for a Tiger sweep with the boys in town.
I would die to see a dog walking,
skull fucking, man.
Yeah, from first pitch to last pitch, just like a position player pitches for the other team. Like I need to see that. We'll see what happens, man. The vibes are low. Are low.
So let's just think about Saturday. We're thinking about being at the yard again in a park that's outside. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah,
that park is awesome too.
I've been there so many times. That's where me and Musgrove got absolutely shithoused. Detroit. Yeah,
if you guys are going to be in Detroit, just DM the Gate 14 account. Pictures for everyone, man.
Yep.
Pictures and pints somewhere.
Let us know you're going to be in
there. How are they going to let you into the country? Are you going to have to bring your visa with you?
No, it's essentially they just check the technically I can just go in as a visitor still.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We can't wait to be held up at the border for 10 hours because Jared doesn't know shit.
Oh, because we said that because we tell them we're a business. Yeah.
I won't be doing that. We're going to watch the game, man.
We're just Jays fans. Yeah, we're just Jays fans. All right. So there it is. I mean,
disaster
class of a weekend. We might
if it gets worse, I'll kill myself.
No, if it gets worse, this is going to just be a full-blown just us shooting the shit podcast. We will not be talking Blue Jays baseball. You have my word with that. We will not be doing that until if they get swept one of these series, the next podcast just a podcast of life. We're just shooting the shit about life. Just taking listener questions about
life.
Yeah, just literally, it's like a life podcast. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be like the Hey Hun podcast that Doc's getting off the ground. But yeah, love you guys. Thanks for support. We'll see you guys next time. We'll talk to you guys. It'll be a couple days before Comerica, the trip heard around the world. The vlog is going to be an all-time vlog. It'll be
an OG Avery edited vlog. So if people like that,
like the St. Louis one, but yeah. It's just so much better just having a cameraman following us because just the random shit that would happen.
But it's like you go back to the basics, man. You get Abe behind the camera, just getting on the boys and my stupid edits, and
we're gonna be
like Spitgate. Remember Spitgate?
Oh, that vlog rocks, man. I love that
the St. Louis one. Yeah, we just need to record more though. We didn't record enough there. Like I'm talking like record just us in the stands, like us mangled at the bar, the club. Like we got to get it all going.
Yeah.
Like we need the full Gate 14 experience in this 24 hours.
It's gonna be like 6 a.m. talk in the car.
We're gonna forget, and then we're gonna be like, oh, we better put the camera out.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get that going. But have a great week, everyone.
Enjoy your day off tomorrow or today.
Enjoy your day off tomorrow, and Don't let this team affect you. All right. Make that very clear. Do not let this team affect you. Love you guys. Gate 14 forever.